You've been watching English movies for years, but you're still not fluent? Here's what nobody tells you about learning English through film. Hey everyone, welcome back to Fluent English Podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Alex. How's it going, Emma?
Pretty good. Actually, I had a really relaxing weekend. I finally finished that Spanish TV series I was watching. You know, the one I told you about last week?
Oh yeah, how was it? Did it help with your Spanish?
It really did. At first I was using English subtitles, but by the end I switched to Spanish subtitles, and I could actually understand most of it. It felt so good.
That's awesome. You know, that's actually kind of perfect timing because today we're talking about movies, specifically movies that can help you learn English.
Yes, we're sharing our top 10 English movies that we think every English learner should watch. And trust me, we had some debates about this list.
We really did. Emma wanted to put like 5 romantic comedies on here.
Hey, romantic comedies have great dialogue. But okay, we compromised. We've got a good mix of different genres, different accents, and different difficulty levels.
Exactly. So whether you're a beginner or you're more advanced, there's something here for you. And honestly, these are just really great movies, even if you're not learning English.
Right, so grab a cup of coffee or tea, get comfortable, and let's dive into our list.
All right, let's start with number 10. Emma, what have we got?
Number 10 is Toy Story.
Oh, this is such a good choice for beginners.
I know, right? So Toy Story is an animated movie from 1995. Wow, that makes me feel old. It's about toys that come to life when humans aren't around. The main characters are Woody, a cowboy doll, and Buzz Lightyear, a space action figure.
And the reason this is so perfect for English learners is that the dialogue is super clear. Animated movies are usually voiced in a studio, so there's no background noise. Plus, the vocabulary is pretty simple because it's made for kids.
But don't let that fool you. It's actually a really entertaining movie. I've probably seen it like 20 times, and I still laugh.
Same, and there are 4 Toy Story movies now, so if you like the first one, you've got a whole series to watch.
Exactly. That's perfect for language learning. You get familiar with the characters' voices and speech patterns.
Okay, number 9, Forrest Gump.
Ooh, I love this one.
So, Forrest Gump is from 1994, and it stars Tom Hanks. He plays a man named Forrest who has a low IQ, but he ends up having this extraordinary life. He meets presidents, he becomes a war hero, he builds a huge business. It's amazing.
And Tom Hanks speaks really clearly in this movie. Forrest has a southern accent, he's from Alabama, but it's not too strong, and he speaks relatively slowly.
Yeah, and here's the cool part for English learners. The movie covers like 30 years of American history. So you learn about the Vietnam War, the Civil Rights Movement, Watergate, all these important events.
It's like a history lesson wrapped in a really emotional story. I cry every single time I watch it.
Emma cries at everything.
I do not. Okay, maybe I do, but this movie is genuinely touching.
It is. I'd say this is good for intermediate learners. The language isn't too complicated, but there's a lot of cultural and historical references.
Agreed. Okay, number 8.
Number 8 is Finding Nemo.
Another animated one.
Yeah, we've got a couple of these because they're just so good for learning. Finding Nemo is about a fatherfish, his name is Marlin, who's searching for his son, Nemo, who got captured by divers.
This movie is great because it has so many different characters with different voices and accents. You've got the Australian accents, American accents, and they all speak really clearly.
Plus, the story is easy to follow even if you don't understand every word. You can use the visuals to help you understand what's happening.
And it teaches you a lot of everyday vocabulary, family relationships, emotions, ocean animals, obviously.
Yeah, you'll definitely learn the word ocean and fish and shark.
Just a few times. This is perfect for beginners to intermediate learners.
All right, number 7 is The Pursuit of Happiness. And yes, happiness is spelled wrong with a Y instead of an I. You'll understand why when you watch it.
This is another one that makes me cry.
Of course it does. So this is based on a true story. Will Smith plays a man named Chris Gardner who becomes homeless with his young son, but he's trying to build a better life for them. He gets an internship at a stock brokerage firm.
What I love about this movie for English learners is that you hear a lot of business English, but also really natural, everyday conversation between a father and son.
Yeah, and Will Smith's pronunciation is really clear. He uses standard American English, nothing too regional or too fast.
And it's so inspiring. You know, it's one of those movies that makes you feel like you can overcome any challenge.
For sure. This one's intermediate level, I'd say. Some of the business vocabulary might be challenging, but the overall story is easy to follow.
Number 6, Home Alone.
Yes, this is a classic Christmas movie.
So, Home Alone is about an 8-year-old boy named Kevin who gets accidentally left behind when his family goes on vacation. And then 2 burglars try to rob his house and he has to defend it.
It's a comedy, and here's why it's great for language learners. There's a lot of physical comedy, so even if you don't understand all the dialogue, you can still follow what's happening and laugh.
Right. Kevin sets up all these traps for the burglars, paint cans swinging at their heads, ice on the stairs, a tarantula.
Yeah, it's pretty violent when you think about it, but in a cartoonish way.
And the dialogue is pretty simple. Kevin is a kid, so he uses everyday language. Plus, you learn a lot of household vocabulary: stairs, basement, attic, doorbell.
This is good for beginner to intermediate learners. And honestly, it's just a really fun movie to watch, especially around Christmas time.
Definitely. Okay, we're halfway through. Number 5, The King's Speech.
Now this one is different because it's British English, not American English.
Right. So The King's Speech is about King George VI of England, who has a stutter, a speech problem where you repeat sounds or get stuck on words.
And he works with a speech therapist to overcome it. This movie is amazing for English learners because it's literally about someone struggling to speak clearly. You see the techniques he uses to improve his speech.
And Colin Firth, who plays the king, speaks with a very proper, clear British accent. It's quite formal, which is great if you want to hear British pronunciation.
Yeah, and Geoffrey Rush plays the speech therapist, and his accent is a bit more casual, so you get that contrast.
I'd say this is intermediate to advanced. The vocabulary is sometimes quite formal and historical.
But it's beautifully made, and the story is really moving.
Okay, number 4, The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, Emma loves this one.
I really do. Okay, so this is about a young woman named Andy who gets a job working for Miranda Priestley, who's the super demanding fashion magazine editor.
Meryl Streep plays Miranda, and she's absolutely brilliant. A little terrifying, but brilliant.
Yes. So this movie is great if you want to learn business English and office vocabulary. You hear a lot about meetings, deadlines, phone calls, professional emails.
And the dialogue is pretty fast-paced. The characters speak quickly, especially Meryl Streep's character. So this is definitely more for intermediate to advanced learners.
But it's so entertaining. And you learn a lot about American work culture, like office politics, professional relationships, work-life balance.
Plus, if you're interested in fashion at all, you'll learn tons of vocabulary about clothes, style, designers.
And even if you're not into fashion, the story is really engaging. It's about finding yourself and standing up for what you believe in.
Okay, number 3, Good Will Hunting.
This is one of your favorites, right?
It really is. So, Good Will Hunting is about a young man named Will, who's a genius at mathematics, but he works as a janitor at MIT, that's a famous university. And a professor discovers his talent and tries to help him.
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck wrote this movie, and they both grew up in Boston, so you get a strong Boston accent in some parts.
Yeah, especially from Will and his friends. And that's actually great for learners because you get exposed to a regional American accent, not just the standard accent you hear in most movies.
The dialogue is really natural and conversational. There are these great scenes where Will and his friends are just sitting around talking, and it feels so real.
And there's also some really beautiful, deep conversations about life, love, trauma. Robin Williams plays Will's therapist, and their scenes together are incredible.
I'd say this is intermediate to advanced. Some of the Boston slang might be tricky, and they do speak pretty quickly sometimes.
But it's worth it. This movie will make you think.
Number 2, Notting Hill.
Another British one.
Yes, and another romantic comedy. I got my way with this one, Alex.
You did? Okay, so Notting Hill is about a regular guy who owns a bookshop in London, and he falls in love with a famous American actress.
Hugh Grant plays the bookshop owner, and he has this really charming British accent. He speaks clearly, but with lots of British expressions and humor.
And Julia Roberts plays the actress, and she uses her normal American accent. So you get both British and American English in one movie.
This is great for learning because the dialogue is really witty, lots of clever jokes and wordplay, and you learn about British culture, British politeness, understatement.
Yeah, British people have this way of saying things indirectly, and you really see that in this movie.
I'd say intermediate level. The vocabulary isn't super difficult, but the humor and cultural references might go over your head if you're a beginner.
But it's such a lovely feel-good movie.
It really is. Okay. Number 1.
Our number 1 movie is Julie and Julia.
Yes, I'm so happy we both agreed on this one.
So, Julie and Julia has 2 parallel stories. One is about Julia Child, who's a famous American chef in the 1950s, learning to cook French food in Paris. And the other is about Julie Powell, a woman in modern-day New York who decides to cook all of Julia Child's recipes in 1 year.
This movie is absolutely perfect for English learners for so many reasons.
First, both Meryl Streep and Amy Adams speak really clearly. Julia Child especially has this very distinctive, clear way of speaking.
Second, you learn tons of vocabulary about cooking. Chop, dice, sauté, simmer, all these cooking verbs. And food vocabulary, ingredients, recipes, measurements.
Third, both stories are about everyday life. Julie talks about her job, her marriage, her blog. Julia talks about moving to Paris, learning a new skill, writing a cookbook. It's all very relatable.
And fourth, it's just delightful. It's funny, it's warm, it's inspiring. You'll probably want to cook something after watching it.
I always do. I'd say this is good for intermediate learners. The vocabulary is practical and useful, and the pace is moderate, not too fast, not too slow.
Plus, you can watch it multiple times and pick up something new each time.
Exactly. And that's actually a good tip for all these movies. Watch them more than once.
So, those are our top 10 movies. Alex, if you had to pick just 3 from this list, which would you recommend?
Ooh, that's tough. I'd probably say Forrest Gump for the cultural education, Julie and Julia for practical everyday English, and maybe Good Will Hunting for natural conversation.
Good choices. For me, I'd pick Toy Story if you're a beginner, The Devil Wears Prada for business English, and Notting Hill for British English and romance.
Of course you'd pick the romantic ones.
Hey, love makes the world go round, Alex.
Fair enough. So for our listeners, here's our advice. Pick one movie from this list and really commit to it.
Right. Don't just watch it once. Watch it multiple times with different subtitle settings.
Exactly. First time, use subtitles in your native language if you need to. Just follow the story, enjoy it.
Second time, use English subtitles. This helps you connect the sounds you're hearing with the written words.
Third time, no subtitles at all. Challenge yourself. You'll be surprised how much you understand.
And pay attention to how the characters speak, their intonation, their rhythm, the expressions they use.
You can even pause and repeat lines out loud. I know it sounds a little silly, but it really helps with pronunciation.
It's not silly at all. That's how I practice my Spanish. I'll watch a scene, pause it, and try to copy exactly how they said something.
See? Emma knows what she's talking about. She's learning Spanish, I'm learning French, and we both use movies and TV shows as part of our learning.
It's one of the most fun ways to learn, honestly. You don't even feel like you're studying.
Exactly. You're just watching a great movie and you're learning at the same time.
So, pick a movie, make some popcorn, and have fun with it.
And if you watch any of these movies, we'd love to hear what you think.
Yes, tell us which movie you watched, what you learned, or even suggest movies we should talk about in future episodes.
Speaking of future episodes, next week we're going to talk about English phrases for traveling. We'll cover everything from checking into a hotel to ordering food at a restaurant.
Ooh, that's going to be useful. I wish I'd had something like that before my first trip to Mexico.
What happened in Mexico?
That's a story for another time. But yeah, traveling is where you really need practical English, so that'll be a great episode.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to Fluent English Podcast.
Keep practicing, keep watching movies, and remember, learning English should be fun.
See you next week.
Bye, everyone!